Explore Kapatisi TV.
Together we achieve, together we can fly, reaching for the sky.
ICFA University, Meghalaya.
Kaseng Congress Meghalaya, kala Pynrem jur, halo ka Lait tu Jingkylli Neet exam. Kabadai na kabanta ka exam, kabala long haka laitrik ujumang mentaw snam. Ya kabala pentho no, da kabaipat haka arpoitrik ujulio asa apun rio. Habakran bat ki nang thok kubor uchaman ka Meghalaya Pradesh Congress Committee Social Media Cell uba langku parwar uloong baka Neet kamdei ka jingpang hendrei ka dikadak jonga jingkylem jonga system bat ka sarkar ka penpat yaka uba war uloong baka National Testing Agency kala aya kata ka jingkular baka namdan kata ka jingbakala hendrei ki Jingkylli ka Neet UG kilait tu uloong baladapen ya ka jinglong jingman ka puli puthi hakari kala hiar hadu kata-kata bat ka jingduna kinong hikai kadi ka wei na ka jinghiar ka puli puthi ka Congress kladawa bau menteri wadai pet ya ka tanat puli puthi jongkari udai ban hiar syuki no amador ban shim ya ka jinggit kli kladawa ru banthung ya ka kunhun tokit ka balai luit ban tokit benia halo ka jinglait tu ki Jingkylli.
Let me begin it this way. The Neet leak, paper leak, is just a symptom. I think most of you are aware of what happened in the last 1 month with regards to the leakage of the Neet paper. This was in May, and 5 days after the exam was conducted, it had to be cancelled when a leak was detected. There was a guidebook that was in circulation, and when the investigators checked the data and the information in the guidebook, they realized that almost 60 to 70% of the questions that were being circulated actually were from the main paper. That's the main reason why the Neet exam was cancelled eventually, and it was rescheduled in June. And the numbers are quite staggering because if you look at the numbers, more than 22 lakh aspirants had to attend this exam, and it was cancelled in May, as I mentioned earlier, because a guest paper circulating in coaching hubs was found to overlap heavily with the real paper. It was reconducted on 21st June 2026 at 5,440 centers across 551 cities and 14 centers abroad, mobilizing hundreds and thousands of personnel. So for us, this repeated leakage of question papers is a great cause of concern. I'm saying this Rahul Gandhi opened his speech in Kota. He said, this is not about the Congress, and he was not going to talk about the Congress or the BJP. This is us, parents, concerned citizens. For example, I'm a third generation teacher, and my colleague over here, Mr. Bantra, is a teacher, by profession. He runs a school. Manuel has families, right, who are in the teaching profession. Like I said, I'm a third generation teacher. My family, has set up 2 schools. We've set up 1 college, and on top of that, almost all my cousins, all my aunts are in the teaching profession. So for us, it's really a cause of concern because the Neet, it's just a symptom. The disease, the ailment is somewhere else, and for us, we felt that it's very, very important that that we highlight where the ailments are. And for us to understand where the issues are, we have to look at the numbers. For example, I've shared the numbers with you. If you look at the combined public spending on education from 2013 to 14, it's 3.8% of GDP. The combined public spending on education center plus states in 2021 has increased, no doubt, to 4.64% of the GDP. But I want to draw your attention to the latest PRS estimate on the combined spending, that is 2022-2023, which indicated there has been a drop in the percentage of GDP of the budgetary allocation. Now, if you look at the NEP 2022 target, the government had made it very clear that the target is 6% budgetary spending of the GDP. But if you look at the numbers, the Ministry of Education expenditure growth 2015, 16 to 2025, 26, there's been only a 5% annualized growth. think later on you can, Manuel probably will explain the numbers, the significance of these numbers and the implications of these numbers. We've been watching. It has made a lot of mistakes, no doubt, in the past, but like they say, it's better late than never, and we feel like that especially this juncture when we've seen that multiple leaks happening, we feel like this is the right time to raise this issue.
Does not have access to computers, to internet. There's another example from Pynrem where a student has passed her Neet exams. It was last year, but because of limited access to internet and even to a smartphone, she missed the deadline to fill up her forms or maybe to get admission in an institute. So this is just a small example. What Bala has been stating before. We can just sum it up as a total lack of seriousness of the government, the center, as well as the state. It's all talk, it's lip service, whereby we are showing that the people in the rural areas would be benefited by all the schemes and policies of the government. But in reality, people in the rural areas, people who lack access to the computer, to the internet, they are missing the opportunities that students in the urban centers are getting. And if the media, if we can bring up such stories forward, right, we will know the real plight of our society. This is just one story. I believe if you go around the length of our state, there will be thousands of complaints, maybe lakhs.
So, Jose, I would like to share another.
As far as education is concerned, because the demand for resignation of the union minister, which is repeated, and because of the various nationwide exam failures, I think is a legitimate demand, and we believe so that somebody, we always say that somebody has to bell the cat. No, the buck has to stop somewhere, and the buck at this time has to stop with the education minister, the union minister. I think it's very important that we stick to that, and the government also takes it, shows at least that it takes it a lot more seriously than what it has been doing. We also say that that whatever leakage that has happened in the past, I think there should be a time-bound investigation towards the various leakages that has happened, because the public needs to know, the students needs to know, and especially people who are aspiring, because then you'll build the confidence level amongst the students as far as students is concerned, because I think it's been eroding, and it's eroded quite heavily right now. So most of the students have given up on the system itself. Yeah. Full disclosure of the Radhakrishnan committee recommendations were actually implemented. So that we have to know. Restructuring and replacement of the NTA with a transparent, accountable, properly staffed body. Right? As I think Bala has mentioned earlier, that it's more or less everything seems to be heading down to commercialization.
It is.
And the BJP is more interested in actually making money from each and every system that might exist. And I think that is something that needs to be looked at more seriously. And the NTA, definitely a restructuring of the NTA is a legitimate demand from our side. As far as teachers are concerned, I think the numbers have already been spelled earlier. It's quite a huge number, nearly 10 lakhs now. We believe that many vacancies, and I think the ugly face is even being seen in Shillong, right? So Nehu itself has a huge amount of teaching staff which is not filled, and there's no intention to refill them. I think that will definitely impact the education system, which is very basic, but then it's very important that that has to be taken into account. Uh, uh, the students who have been betrayed, right? Most of the students, I think it's becoming a health issue. Yeah. So the mental health of many of these students who has gone through such a traumatic experience, I think it's the government's responsibility to take care of them. It's the government's responsibility to ensure that no harm is done to them, because it's of no fault of theirs. And I think that's also very important.
I would also like to highlight another very, very important, um, let's say, concern. This is regarding the NTA, that is the National Testing Agency. Now, if you look at the education as a education is on the concurrent list, which is a shared responsibility of the center and the states. Yet, NEET, CUET, and the NTA-led national testing have concentrated power in Delhi. When the centralized system collapses, as evidenced by the NEET leak, Delhi takes the credit for control, but pushes the blame onto students and states. So the same coercion is visible in school funding. The system told Parliament, the centre told Parliament in the financial year 24-25 that Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and West Bengal received no Samagra Shiksha funds, which is roughly around 328.90 crore for Kerala, rupees 2,151 crore for Tamil Nadu, and rupees 1,745 crore for West Bengal. These funds were not released because the three states refused to sign the MOU, which is sign the PM Shri MOU, tying them to the center's policy. Later, of course, we came to know that the funds were released for Kerala and Tamil Nadu. But the fact that the center used this as a leverage mechanism to coerce and to force the states into signing, into accepting the policies of the central government is indicative of how the central government is actually using policy as a political tool. So we are very concerned about that also, because this money is not the central government's money, it's the people's money, and it is meant for government school children. But in this particular case, like I highlighted, it was used as a lever, as a leverage to force compliance. Now, for a small funding dependent state like Meghalaya, this sets a frightening precedent. Either we agree with Delhi, or we get penalized. So this is another major concern as far as the education system is concerned in the country today. We're very, very concerned about the autonomy of the states to take decisions, to take policy decisions to address the needs and requirements of the system, of the education system in the state.
Mornings are always busy. Everything feels fast. I hear mom shouting and I'm trying not to be late. Outside, Shillong is already awake. Cars move slowly, horns are loud. It feels like everyone is in a hurry. Then the STEMS bus comes in, bright and yellow, always on time. The caretaker waves and I feel okay. Inside, we laugh and sing. We share snacks, we help each other with homework. It feels nice. My parents know I'm safe through the STEMS app on mom's phone. Because this bus isn't just a ride. It takes us to school, with friends, and a little bit of home. This is STEMS, our ride, our future.